Good morning, Eric Holland here with David Walters Yachts. I'm standing aboard the brand new Hylas 60, the 2020 Miami Boat Show. This boat just arrived in Florida a few weeks ago from Queen Long Marine. She's brand new. This is the first Frers design Hylas 60 that's been built. There she is. So we're going to take a walk through today. We're going to show you some of the systems, some of the layout, try and answer any of your questions out there. So here we go. Okay, so before we go and do a more in-depth tour, just take a quick look around the boat and just explore some of the more general overview. So, big open deck, beautiful teak inlaid here, and we also have flush deck hatches. It's a cutter rig. We have the inner staysail, Genoa, and with bowsprit. That's got a great look. Take a look at this. Look how sleek this is. Just a good looking design. The salon area. The forward cockpit. Then we have back aft the helms. I can walk all the way around here, step down into the cockpit. Of course, we can do the view here from the helm station. So here we are, port helm. Check that out. Great view. Sit right here. Perfect view forward. Sit right behind the helm. Great view. Easy to see the electronics. See the chart plotter right here. Stand up. You can also see everything. Quick access to all the controls. I can hit the main sheet winch. Hit all the controls here. Of course, we have everything duplicated on the starboard helm here. And then forward, we've got the rest of the cockpit. Okay, one of the first things you might notice is that we've got an incredibly clean deck up here. This is a great teak deck. The house is very well known for doing in incredible condition, but look at this. It's so wide and open. Some of the major changes here with this design versus previous house designs is a lot of the running rigging is run beneath the deck. We have a self-tacking staysail up here. The anchor windlass and all of its mounting gear mounted below the deck. So let's start up at the bow and work our way aft. Starting at tip, we have a nice integrated bowsprit with anchor roller. We've got this great tacking point up here for a spinnaker, along with an inboard one here for mounting a fixed code 0, if that's your desire. We also have a below deck Genoa furler. It's electric. See the connections here for the anchor chain that goes beneath the deck. In this forward hatch here, we have access to the anchor windlass. And there she is. We also have a great amount of access in here for the furler up forward and storage for any dock lines, fenders, and that sort of thing. And we do have foot controls up here. We can also control it back from the helm. We've got these nice dock line organizers to bring it back to the cleat here. We have nice pop-up cleats, nothing to trip on. Everything has a nice stainless steel rub strake on it. Beautiful stainless bow rail. It's split wider than previously, so this is a great area to come up to, and there's just a lot more space up here than on previous designs. More contemporary look. In this compartment here, we have a huge locker, and this goes down about 7.5 feet. There's a great amount of space in here. There's a great amount of storage. Under this shelf here, we've got more storage. You can slide things underneath. And then we have around the top, we have this stainless bar that wraps around. So it's a great place to hook up onto your lines or just hang equipment you're not in use. We have great hooks back here for deck brush, boat hook. And of course, we have access through this hatch here up to the chain locker forward. And the chain locker is a huge area as well. There's space up there to store more gear, more ground tackle if you needed to. You can put a split anchor system up there if you wanted. And something to know is that all the hatches on the boat are gasketed, and we do have positive locking dogs, and they also have security locks built into them, so we can lock these and you can't access them unless you have the correct key. Here's our electric fixed staysail furler. The hatches are flush with the deck, so everything's very, very clean throughout. And then coming back here to the mast, it's a Selden aluminum rig, 91 feet of air draft. Something very interesting to note is that this boat actually has the optional hydraulic outhaul inside the boom. So we have an electric mainsail furling, hydraulic outhaul, both of which are push button controlled from the helm. So you can one hand ease the main out or roll it back in. We also have this hydraulic vang here for the vang sheeting. And then all your control lines here are run under deck all the way aft. And people may ask, well, how do you get to them? Well, we actually have 2 access hatches. We have a hatch here and one further back. There's your deck organizer. There's one further back next to the helm. See a jib track right here. It's 105% jib. And then the rigging, we have rod rigging on this boat here, and it's led out that outboard to its attachment point. So the deck is nice and open throughout. Of course, we have our deck fills here. You open with the winch handle. We've got water tanks, fuel tanks back there. And the water tanks you have to open with a winch handle. The fuel tanks you have to open with a deck key. So there's almost no way you can actually fill fuel into water or water into fuel as long as you keep with that system. We do have halyard locks built in. So when you're not using the tail, you can take it off, fish it out, or just leave it on there if you want. So once the sails are up, there's no reason to come forward at all. Everything's push button from the cockpit. Here's the top of the cabin house. We have a nice attachment point here for life raft. We have one fitted. This beautiful port lay here that goes around port, starboard, and the front of the cabin house. Prevents some nice interior lighting. Very beautiful. All right, checking out the canvas here over the forward part of the cockpit, we've got nice Dodger roll-up screen. We also have a connector piece to the bimini that can pull out as well for more air if you want. You could also enclose all of this if you so desired. You have another nice pop-up midships cleat right here. We also have up forward here, actually just passed, let's go back really quick. We got this pull pad eyes right here for attaching of halyards or the preventer. The preventer is actually built into the boom on this boat with a shop shackle, so it's easy to rig, and the line goes all the way back to the cockpit. You can actually see it right there. There's the preventer. All you gotta do is undo the line right back there and pull it out to the fixed point on deck. All right, going through, starting to look at the cockpit here. So we have 2 portions of this cockpit. We got the forward portion here, which is your entertainment area. We have a nice, beautiful teak, high gloss varnish table. Nice cushions. These are nice, thick cushions. You can sit up here or sit in the lower part there. 2 ventilation hatches over the companionway. The companionway is large enough that you can go in without ducking. You just got to duck for the top of the Dodge ramp right there. It's easy to get in and out of the boat. We do have a set of Raymarine instruments up there to keep you the guests entertained of what's going on at the boat. The nerve center is back here. So you step over the aft cabin skylight here. And we have the helm station. So we have twin helm stations, port and starboard. And we have duplicate controls throughout. Thanks to modern technology, we have electronic controls for the engine, so we can actually control all the engine functions from either helm station, and we have dual instrumentation for both. Regardless of where you are on the boat, you can control the engine from either helm station. We also have an iPad you can bring up on deck to control all functions of the switching the boat. We have digital switching throughout. In the cockpit here, the sailing arrangement we've got out here, we have the primary winch for the Genoa or for the running a spinnaker right here. You run a spinnaker block through here, right to this winch. This is a 2-speed winch. All the winches aboard are 2-speed. And these are your Genoa furling switches right here. So it's easy to furl the Genoa from port or starboard. We have duplicate controls either side. This is the secondary winch. Here we have, in beige, we have our preventer. We have halyards for the halyard locks forward. And then we have a spinnaker halyard right here in red. And then we have, again, 2-speed winch, 2-speed main sheet winch right here. And then another 2-speed winch on the port side. We got the stay sail sheet on it right now, and we got more halyard locks on that side. So again, all the control lines come out to the cockpit. You can easily sail this boat with one person, not a problem. Look at the helm station here. It's a beautiful modern setup with a nice black acrylic panel and all the instrumentation in black. We've got a nice big Raymarine chart plotter, autopilot instrumentation, proportional bow thruster control, and of course your engine instrumentation. This boat does have a Volvo Penta D3 150 straight shaft diesel on it. We can also do EMR. On the port side here, we can see we got a couple extra things. We've got your Selden hydraulic control panel. This is for the backstay and for the vang. It's a dual backstay to a single point about 20 feet above the deck, and we have dual hydraulic rams in that. And we also have, right behind Ryan here, we have the switching panel for your lighting and any kind of other cockpit switching you need. We have our shore power connections over here. You can see that Dave at the back here, he's standing on the swim platform. We'll take a more look at that later. And the ladder now is actually folded down to get access to the deck from the swim platform. There's also a hatch right here with another ladder leading down. You can have in place, there's nothing in there, or if you have a dinghy in place, you can take the ladder out and just throw stuff in from the hatch above. It's a large area, it's about 3.5 feet tall and quite deep. It goes all the way forward to this bulkhead right here. And there's stainless strips on the bottom for anti-skid, and we can show you that a bit later. And again, we have access here to the other turning block that brings the rigging this way, and then the rigging takes a 90 and it goes forward, and then it takes another 90 and it goes up to the base of the mast. So we're gonna go below here in a minute and take a look at the interior and show you some more stuff. All right, so let's proceed down into the interior of the Hylas 60 and I'll give you a tour.
No gas, no electric ranges.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and start forward here. So people in the salon taking a look at the boat. So first thing you might notice here is that this is a totally different interior than most other houses you've seen. This is what is called the Hot Labs interior. This is out of Italy. It's just one of the options we can do for the Hylas 60. We also have the more traditional styles like teak and cherry and that sort of thing. We have a nice white oak floor here, beautiful surrounds. And this is the forward cabin. This is one of 2 masters aboard the boat. It's just something you might notice here. We've got a lot of storage cabinets above. We've got nice hanging lockers right here. Deep lots of space. All with built-in lighting. Reading lamps, outlets. More hanging lockers here on the right side. And we also have a couple drawers here at the bottom. A part of this interior package, we also have these nice accent LED strips along the flooring and parts of the overhead of the boat. So you have nice night lighting, or even used at full time throughout the boat. And it brightens up the entire area, and it's non-blinding, non-glaring kind of light. We still have the overhead spots if you wish to turn them on. And then of course we have a nice large deck hatch here. It is tinted, it's quite nice. And we also have built-in screen, built-in shade. And then we go straight aft here. You've got the forward head. This is also used as a day head. So we have electric head up here, nice sink area, and then we have the mirror, and the mirror again has storage behind. And it's accessible privately from the forward head or secondary from the salon area. Going just after the forward cabin here, we've got the guest cabin. So we have a bunk type setup here, and this bunk can be raised and locked into place, so you can turn this into a full standing room cabin. We also have these nice cubbies above and below. These again are lit by the LED accent lights. You have a great bookshelf area, or storage for binders, storage for your cell phone, that kind of thing. And then below here we got the same thing set up.
guest cabin.
Going on this side, we've got a nice nightstand, get an outlet. We got its own air conditioning system here. We have a central air conditioning system on this boat, so it's a chiller system with multiple fan units throughout the boat. Each cabin had its own digital control. And then we have, again, 2 hanging lockers up here. There's one there. And we got the one down below.
Just as nice, but not as big as the one. Sounds like my friend Fran had a 54 and then he went to the 70.
All right, we're gonna go aft, and then we'll come back to the middle. All right, aft cabin. This is the aft master right here. It's a full beam master cabin. Great headroom in here. Now, even for a boat with an aft cockpit and a center cockpit, on 6'2", and it's still 6'6", 6'7" headroom in here. It's incredible. On the port side here, we've got a nice settee. We have a couple storage lockers behind the door. More storage lockers above, and of course shelving over here. We have a nice nightstand, power and supplies, USB plugs for your cell phones and all your gadgets. We have more storage drawers here, port and starboard on our side of the bed. On the forward bulkhead here, we've got a spot for a TV. We have a nice stainless steel grab rail here so you can make your way from port to starboard. Built-in speakers on the overhead. And again, we have here the vanity, which is pretty common on a lot of Hylases here on the port side. We do have space underneath for storage, or you put a flip-in chair, but it's close enough you can also sit on the bed. And there's a mirror built in here as well. There we go. So I just turned on the accent lighting a little bit. Take a look at here. There's the accent lighting. We can turn it off just like that, so it comes on very smoothly to white nice. That's all brightened up. And then we've got the aft master head. We have a stand-up shower with a teak seat built in there. Nice, beautiful Italian faucet. More storage, and the material you're using for the countertops and these little storage areas, like in the heads here, it's called Meganite. Meganite is a higher quality material than Corian. It's less porous. It's preferred in the hospital industry and whatnot. It's very easy to clean and helps get rid of bacteria. And it's a great material. It comes in multiple colors. So we went with this option for the Hylas 60, and it's just a nicer material than Corian. Again, we have a great mirror right here. Lots of storage space, and we have more storage space underneath the cabinets and over on this side here. And again, we have an electric head. Take a quick look around here. And this is a massive, massive cabin. Alright, we're going to go back in here, and then we're going to go into the galley area. So the galley, what we've got set up in here is a passageway galley, just like many of the other houses you've seen or been used to. We do have 2 refrigerators and a freezer here. And these are opening right here. They're all stainless steel, easy to open and close. And then we have multiple pantry drawers here. Open up. It's nice and deep. Again, we have more down here. There's lots and lots of storage on this boat. We have more storage above. And then over here and over here. Countertop space is great. We've got a nice sink over here, stainless steel, and then we've got a 4-burner gimbaled stove with oven. Hey, how are you? Okay, so this is in the back part of the salon on the port side. We have this large mechanical access space here. They get to, let's widen this up some, there we go, everything in the engine compartment. So starting here at the top, we've got your AC, alternating current controls, got more here. And at the back, Northern Lights 9 kilowatt genset in the side enclosure. air conditioning system up top there. And the air conditioning pump down below, oil change system, sea strainers. And then we have the shaft for the engine here. And we do have access in here to put aqua drive in. That is an option. We do have on this boat a Volvo D3150. We can also install the MR if that's your preference. So we can do either or. And forward here, we've got access to the batteries. We do have 24 volt and 12 volt systems on board. And then we have the water heater over here. And this whole forward part here for the companionway also opens up. So we can get to service the batteries, the engine, all the engine services are easily accessible, and we can access all the generator sides. So we have a great amount of headroom in here as well. It's an incredible amount of space. It's really easy to get to everything on the boat mechanically. Alright, so we're going to continue from the engine compartment over here. We're going to go to the nav station.
And I don't even know if
This is on the port side here at the back end of the salon. So we got a nice port light here, easy to see out. We have our entertainment system, VHF, rain marine chart plug, so we have the helms and autopilot control. And this is everything's optional here with the electronics, so we can do multiple steps and whatnot. But this boat does have a rain marine setup, very clean, easy to use, and you can control all the functions of the boat from the helm or down here. We have our inverter charger controls, bilge pump controls, generator controls, Dometic chiller controls. So we do have a central air conditioned chiller system, uses seawater, and then we have fan and condensing units throughout the boat. So it's a more of a put together split system. Instead of multiple independent units, we have one master system with multiple thermostats. And then here we have the C-zone system. So instead of having a panel with, on this boat would be like 50 switches, a whole rows and rows and rows. We just have this one system right here, which allows us to turn on and off all of our DC and AC appliances. And then we also have this iPad right here. And this iPad we can use to control the same functions when we're on the boat. And I mean, that's what happens if the system fails. Well, we do have backups for that because we do have back in here, as I showed before. We have these master switches right here. These control the master disconnects for the AC system. So we can actually disconnect the AC systems independently of each other. And we do have under here, there's your winch controls right there. And then over here we have our mains.
But it really helps.
And then in the rest of the salon here on the starboard side, we've got a nice settee.
And I tell you why, I had to let the back stay off where it almost had nothing.
And then the salon table and the port settee.
Nice. It's a big name.
We have Peter Grimm over here with North Sails discussing the sail plan of the boat.
So this was used out a little bit.
And of course you can tell here from the outside that we had that nice port light that wrapped around the top of the cabin house. You can see how it looks here. It's a great amount of interior light. And we do have these nice grab bars here, port and starboard, along with the railing up top and the railings up forward here. And the same bar wraps around here up to the companionway steps. So it's a great setup.
Where the alcohol was. So I could say, okay, it's repeatable, and this, and Yachts agrees, this is what the main looked like, that's where the alcohol was. And that's on a different tack, and we had, again, we were sailing with less and less backstay pressure to get more fullness in the jib. And you can see it's a little more, if you looked at the picture before, then you can throw the one.
All right, so here's the transom of the Hylas 60. Again, we have this nice transom door. It's hydraulically controlled, closes in place, and then we have air inflated gasket to seal this off from the sea. You can see inside here, it's huge. We've got the ladder in place right now to step down from the cockpit. We have these nice stainless steel strips, so it's easy to slide gear in and out. If you had a dinghy, you could also put one on a set of rails, so easy to get in and out of the boat. Oh yeah, this goes. And then we have in here, we can take a look. We see our steering gear. We have a linkage steering system here, so we don't have any cables or whatnot above deck. We also have access to either the rudders, emergency steering tillers, and this boat does have twin rudders. It's the first Hylas with twin rudder design. We can do that because we want to get some shower draft out of the boat. This boat draws 6'6" for a 60-foot boat. That's 6'6" with the shoal draft keel that this boat has fitted. We can also do an 8'3" draft for those that are looking for a little bit more pointy performance. Of course, we have more storage port starboard. There's a dive ladder that goes in the back of the boat. Now it's a huge, huge compartment. So you can fit the dinghy in here and also have more space for gear. And we do have hatches under the deck here for access to more storage. And it's a pretty large area actually under the deck here. So you can store fenders, extra power cords, dive tanks, that sort of thing. All right, well, this has been a tour of the brand new Hylas 60 here at the 2020 Miami Boat Show. If you're going to be in the area, we'll be here through Monday. Please stop by, take a look at this incredible yacht, ask us any questions. We also have the Hylas 48 here on display, and we can talk to you about the new Hylas 57, which first one which will be arriving here in the US in a couple of months. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at David Walters Yachts. My name is Eric Holland, and I'm here to show you this incredible yacht.